I'm gonna love to see that.
What'd you do?
I'm gonna love to see the face you made when it fucking captured it.
Okay.
All right, Don.
Okay.
Countdown, motherfucker.
Show will begin in 4, 3, 2, 1. And we made it to our second video. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. It's the Don and Ron show. I am Genghis Don.
I am Righteous Ron.
Featuring Victorious Vic.
Victorious Vic.
Our fantastic producer.
And Fire in the background. Always ready to butt in when he wants to.
I'm not here.
Although he may
Fire just left, as a matter of fact. We'll talk to Fire when he gets back.
But he'll come and go as he please. He usually does.
What's on your mind today, Don? You always got something on your mind.
Oh, I've always got something on my mind. Well, the biggest news story of the moment is Joe Biden's tax returns, and they don't explain the millions of income. Where did it come from? How much did his family make, especially his son? His good-for-nothing son. I mean,
What does his son do?
Oh, man.
What is it?
Drugs. Just on his laptop. Drugs. Just anything you think of. Weird stuff, too.
Wasn't he caught up in the Ukraine scandal?
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
what was that all about?
Yeah.
and that's probably one reason why they want to go to war with Ukraine, or at least give them enough ammunition within reason, but don't anger certain people.
Especially the president.
Well, the president. Well, you don't want the people that don't want to go to war. He doesn't want to be a wartime president, I would think. But,
No, I believe he does.
That's scary.
But I just want to say, let's see. Obama led the most attacks during a presidency.
He killed Obama, dude. I mean, Osama.
Trump had Trump had let's see, 0,
Unless you count what he caused on our own country.
which was
A riot.
oh my god.
And
Donald
for
Trump.
for the record, yeah, we
Decided
have
to
we have
riot.
to be the voice of dissent. For the record,
They hated
I don't
him so
believe that
much.
he's giving up his tax records now. He's not even president anymore. He managed to get through the whole freaking.
They've
his
been
whole-
leaked. They've been
I know,
leaked.
But I'm
It
like,
doesn't
at least
matter.
Joe
Anybody
Biden.
can-
At least Joe
anybody can
Biden
spin
put
it.
out some BS. He was like, "Hey, you guys want to see this? Look." It says nothing.
Might not,
Here's
might not be
1/3.
legit, but
Mhm.
this is what it is.
Like, what's that?
And
50
then
million
Joe
from my
Biden,
son.
there's a war. We're funding. We're
It was
really
a
funding the
Father's Day
Ukrainians.
gift.
With,
Somebody's got to. They're a poor
Okay,
country.
next story.
They're going up against
David's
Russia.
down.
Help them
Take it
out.
on down.
I agree. Help them out.
Let's talk about that
He
abortion
smells
thing,
chick's
Don.
hair, dude. He's a creep.
Yeah, let's talk about that abortion.
Talk
thing.
about that abortion thing.
That one's fire.
Colorado abortion law. What does Don think about? What do you think about it? Should they or should they not allow to make their own choice?
well, right now in Colorado,
At 9 months?
the unborn has no rights. There's no liberties. Technically, it is the property of the woman. It's no different than slavery
Key
back
word.
in the
He
day.
said it's the property of the woman.
Property.
Just as in slavery, they did what they wanted to do with their
Property.
slaves.
Exact. In this state,
So-
it's legally property. They don't use that word property, but that's pretty much what it is now. Our law in Colorado is no different than what it is in New York State.
Which is, so, I just gotta say, it's disgusting to be able to terminate a child at 9 months. Okay?
They don't do abortion.
I could-
Why
I
don't we
don't
just start
agree with
drowning
abortion
them
at
like the
all.
Chinese right
But
when
if
they
we're
come
gonna
out?
do it,
Well, we have a
It's a
handful
girl.
of
well, if we're gonna have abortion at all, which apparently we must,
yes.
it should be 6 weeks or less. It should not be
No, I think
9
the
months.
woman should
That
take
is
it over longer than
ridiculous.
6 weeks.
And in most European countries, there
That
are,
would be what you call a hasty decision.
and in most European,
Okay, so no,
in
that's a
most
good.
country, in
That
most
is a good
countries,
point.
there are where they
lost
do allow
somebody's life
abortion.
in
There
6 weeks.
are certain limits. It's just with us, we are joining China, North and South Korea, and I think Canada as far as allowing abortion pretty
Okay,
much
so-
up to the point of birth.
Okay, so 6 weeks. You said 6 weeks, but 6 weeks, you know, a lot of women don't even know that they're pregnant at 6 weeks. Like it's 8 weeks, 12
If they
weeks.
made that decision in the bedroom, then maybe they should know.
That's,
What
Oh,
if
you
they-
opened your leg now.
What if they didn't make that decision?
If they didn't make that decision, then they need to go get a pill real fast.
No, I mean, what if somebody intrudes
And
you and
at the hospital, they offer
you?
that
What? Kill the baby right on the spot?
for
If you get
rape.
raped? Yeah.
well, there
Yes.
is that's the morning after. That's the morning after pill.
Exactly.
Which is not 100% effective, by the way.
And then even and the pill, as in the Loretta Lynn song, there are people that are they just won't come out and say it, but that somehow induces an abortion. It just prevents the fertilized egg that's been fertilized from implanting. And
Oh, why
that's-
not take it back to 1962 with a rusty hanger on the back of someone's?
But here's the thing:
Right now, that's what I'm thinking. Abortion is
Do you-
like brutal.
what do you who are we as human beings? Are we just slime, as the evolutionists say, or are we something greater than us?
Who are the evolutionists?
I mean, if you think about it,
Who calls us blind?
Well, we came from the
probably
slime.
everyone outside of this world.
Well, I mean, we came from
This
the
planet.
slime and all of that stuff, and the dust and
Primordial ooze.
yeah, exactly.
Primordial ooze. That's a pretty fancy word, Fire.
Primordial. I like it.
You might have to explain that. to
SAT,
me,
that's
Fire.
an SAT word.
No, they're smart.
Yeah.
They'll
They're
get
smart.
it. They'll get it.
Our audience is smarter than we are, probably.
But if you believe that there's somebody greater than us, a higher power, whether you believe in nature's God or some other, that we are created in the image of that God, don't you believe it in honor of somebody that greater, that you honor the lives of others and don't intrude on those lives? That's what it comes down to.
In a perfect world, yes.
But we're not in a perfect world. Never will be until there's time. I mean, she was a anarchist, Marxist, communist, and she was very passionate about loose sexual mores and all that, believing that
She's probably a freak herself.
she was a freak,
I bet you.
definitely a
Well,
freak. But at the same time, she wanted to institute population control programs, control how many families could have a child, and she was passionate about trying to get rid of certain minority groups, prevent them from being able to, let's say,
Reproduce?
reproduce.
Procreate.
Chop the dicks off.
Procreate, definitely. I mean, she believed if you're white, yeah, that's.
It's all right.
But that
If you're black, stay back.
But that was the time. But that was the times.
Mhm.
And I mean, really, let's look at the statistics now. Mostly black and other racial minorities are the ones that go to Planned Parenthood.
That's racist.
That's
And
racist.
they are.
There again, we're cutting
That's a
that out,
fact.
too.
We're not
Cut
cutting
that
that
out.
out.
That's a
That's
fact.
facts and truth.
No, that's racism.
All right,
not
we're gonna
right.
have to fact check that.
She or they, Planned Parenthood, is racist.
They are.
You're making
It's all
right.
racist, man.
And then,
This show is racist.
No, this show is not
I'm
racist.
just fucking.
and many of these clinics are in predominant African American.
That's what it was all
neighborhoods.
about, man. It was all about freaking trying to, get the bunnies to stop. fucking.
Exactly. It's disgusting, but it has to be exposed.
Okay, so
because we like people here. Here's time. I mean, she was a anarchist, Marxist, communist, and she was very passionate about loose sexual mores and all that, believing that
she's probably a freak herself.
she was a freak,
I bet you.
definitely a
Well,
freak. But at the same time, she wanted to institute population control programs, control how many families could have a child, and she was passionate about trying to get rid of certain minority groups, prevent them from being able to, let's say,
Reproduce,
reproduce,
chop the dicks off.
procreate. Definitely. I mean, she believed if you're white, yeah, that's.
It's all right.
But that,
if you're black, stay back.
But that was the time. But that was the times.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, really, let's look at the statistics now. Mostly black and other racial minorities are the ones that go to Planned Parenthood.
That's racist.
That's
And
racist.
they are.
There again, we're cutting
That's a
that out,
fact.
too.
We're not cutting that out.
That's a
That's
fact.
facts and truth.
No, that's racism.
All right,
not
we're gonna have to fact check that.
She or they, Planned Parenthood, is racist.
They are.
Sure, make it
It's all
right.
racist, man.
And then,
This show is racist.
No, this show is not
I'm
racist.
just fucking.
and many of these clinics are in predominant African.
That's what it was all
neighborhoods.
about, man. It was all about freaking trying to, get the bunnies to stop. fucking.
Exactly. It's disgusting, but it has to be exposed.
Okay, so
Because we like people here. We love our fellow neighbors.
We love everyone. Every walks of life,
No.
every race. All
except
Until they do us wrong. Unless you want to count the wops and the goofs and the Negroes and the Jews.
You're making this real hard on
Cut. Cut.
That's not true.
We're not going to have that on air.
I know you're making it real hard on me
No,
to edit.
making you work too much. You know what? Vic likes to work, so it's good. Making him work hard.
In 5.
The harder he works,
Lord.
the better we do.
3,
This is
2.
some of my look, Ron. Some of my favorite people are good Jewish people themselves, and I'll name a few of them.
I have some good Jewish friends. I have good black friends. I have good Mexican
I
friends.
don't.
I wouldn't say friends. I got a lot of acquaintances.
I don't have a lot of close
Most of my
friends,
friends are in this room right now.
but some of the commentators I like are themselves Jewish.
What are you
Like-
doing? I don't know what nothing to do with that.
I know.
Yeah,
You
I like Dennis Prager.
absent-mindedly take it.
Probably my favorite Jewish talker is Mark Levin. Passionate about the Constitution. He's passionate about, getting into the battles. He's passionate about his worldview.
Okay,
Sorry,
we get
I
it.
don't have a favorite Jew. I'm
We
sorry.
get it. You love Jews. Okay, next.
Can we say Jewish at least? Jewish folks? Hebrew?
A Jewish
What's
man.
wrong with Hebrew?
Hebrew.
A more proper
Hebrew.
name. More
Hebrew?
proper name. Hebrews.
No, they like to be called Jews.
Israelis, but not all of them are from Israel.
Helps
Exactly.
their cause.
Exactly. Listen, we don't
How
want to
about
offend.
Zionist? Does anybody
We do
know what a
not want to
Zionist is in
offend
this room?
Israel. We don't want
Yeah,
Mossad
I've
agents
read
kicking in
about
our door.
Don,
What's that?
do you know what a Zionist is?
Zionism.
Zionism.
Do you know what they are? And what their purpose is?
I don't really get too involved in
Fire.
Zionism.
Yes.
Figured you would. Tell me.
He said, I figured you would.
Tell me, because I know I do.
Professor. Okay, well, Zionists basically are a group of Jewish people who believe that because they take the scripture, they take the Old
The
Testament
Torah.
pretty much like verbatim,
Verbatim.
and they believe that because they are the chosen, God's chosen people, and God has given them this land, Israel, which actually we did. The United States did, but God gave them Israel, and therefore they're entitled to it, and they feel that they should, because they're divinely appointed, they should rule over the entire planet.
I'm going to
That's
tell you
the
the key
essence
part you're leaving out,
of
because
Zionists.
I have a good friend who was brought up in Brooklyn, New York, just like you, a little bit older than you. Leave her name out of this.
I was about to say, why you have to tell the public I'm from Brooklyn, man? Forget about it. They know I'm.
I thought he said Brooklyn.
Forget about it.
He might have
Okay.
said Manhattan.
Manhattan.
But either way,
Yeah.
no.
You got the Bronx.
Okay, what
and
about
you got Broadway? and
Israel
all of
is
that.
probably not even as big as the state we live in, correct? And they've been at war since day one, as we all know. So Zionist people, like my friend, took her husband, her 4 children, and they go on a 5-year commitment to Israel. and they just to be bodies, because otherwise Israel would have been wiped out a long time. If these people didn't go over there to be bodies to be killed,
I was just about to say
they'd be
that's
wiped out a long
that's
time ago.
colonization, basically. But what you're talking about, that's a Zionist movement. That's not what Zionism is. That's
why,
a group
why
of
it says
Zionists.
Zionism. I said Zionist.
It's like a group of Zionists that have moved. They do that, like you say, for numbers and basically just to occupy.
And she would put her kids on school buses and public buses. I mean, live your life. Don't be scared. I mean, live your life. Because, I mean, otherwise Israel would have been gone, dude.
I have a very unique perspective in
ago.
this group here. I've actually been there. I've been to Israel, and I've
true.
seen, what life is like there for both sides. And this was in the 80s,
It's
but
never
still,
good.
But
not in my lifetime.
It's so put it like this. After, if you know the history of the current state of Israel, after World War II, they needed some geography, some place that they could award these group of people who had been so, disenfranchised, so wronged by history and shit, because the whole world's played a part in it. It wasn't just Germany, you know what I mean? So they determined that was where they were going to rope it off, but it was also for strategic. Look where it's located. It's a tiny little speck in the middle of nothing but people who hate you. You're surrounded by people who hate you.
I mean,
isn't it interesting that they have the largest military intelligence? Like, they can't win by
not that
might.
long ago, Gaza was throwing missiles at them. I mean,
so
and it's this group.
I have my own, personal beliefs and feelings about it or whatever. I think I told Ron this. I had a date with a chick who was Palestinian and made the mistake of referring to Palestine as Israel. I was like, oh yeah, I've been to your country. I was in Israel back in '83, and she just looked at me like she wanted to kill me.
She did. I mean, in her book, it's Palestine, not Israel.
And it is. In anybody's book, it's actually, it should be Palestine, because even though we can...
same country?
Even though, same landmass. It's the same borders, but the name was changed politically. It wasn't done through, they had the 6 Days War or whatever, and that's something very interesting that somebody who, if you want to delve into a little conspiracy theory on your show here, someone, a very older person who's, been in the military and has pretty good insight into things, told me that during that war, who you probably know who this is, Don, Benjamin Netanyahu was the former prime minister of Israel.
Yes, we do.
But he was also a general during that war, and that's where he got his, his certain, what do you call it, reputation from or whatever, as a great hero, as a war hero. Well, it's
and he was a respectable leader, but he dealt with a lot of conflict of interest, and
it was reported that during that war, when they were assaulted, when Israel was being invaded, that they turned some sort of a sonic cannon or some type of sonic weapon that, similar to the story in the Bible of, the trumpets and the walls of Jericho tumbling down, that they hit this sonic blast and killed all these people. And since then, ain't nobody tried to run up in Israel. Very interesting.
They have a wall. They have a wall. They protect.
It's not because of military, or missile defense or anything like that. There's obviously some technology that Israel has had for years that allows them to sit there and not be attacked.
They protect their borders for sure.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
We need some of that here, but that's not going to happen as long as Biden is president.
No, they like competitive competition with military advancement. Apparently, that's what they like.
And they're downsizing our military for reasons we won't get into. But YouTube just likes to censor us because they believe in the cause.
So we'll avoid that one
for now.
Catch us on Rumble though.
Rumble. We're on Rumble 2.
Talk about
Uncensored.
We're not on Rumble yet.
Yes, we are on Rumble.
I don't have Rumble.
all right.
You gotta download it, bro.
No, it's not. You go on the web, rumble.com.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't download it. Bro, you don't download it, Fire. You just go on the computer, pop it up, rumble.com, and
Did you want
make
to
your
get a shot?
subscriptions.
Talk to the camera.
Boss.
Hey, boss,
No.
you're on television.
Boss
Sorry,
wants
that's my
to be
dumb
part
dog.
of the show.
He
Boss
thinks
wants
he's
to
part
be
of the show, but he's not. But he will be off and on.
We'll be
We
right
love
back
him.
after this commercial break.
All right, what you got, Don?
Well,
What you got,
we knew
Vic?
we knew this was going to happen because to the winner goes the spoils, and Biden was the winner. Like it or not, as far as Trump, and I know there's
I
still
don't like it. I just wish there would have been another option. I think they're both dicks.
Well, we're not. Well,
Even though I used to love Donald Trump until he became president.
well, a lot
Even
of
though
people.
I
Just like most of you liberals.
I didn't want him to become president because I thought he would have done a good job. And then all of a sudden I realized he was probably the worst president in American history.
But I didn't want. But this is not the discussion. The
Probably
discussion.
the best. One of the best.
Best.
One of the
What
best.
did he do for us, dude?
Brother.
We're gonna find
Border
out.
security.
That's one thing for
That's
sure.
one thing for sure. Border security.
And
Let's talk about peace. We had 4 years of peace with that man.
No, we were still at war with Afghanistan.
But
well, he wanted to get it.
he was the first president to not have a war under his belt that he started.
He actually wanted to
went
get.
into.
He actually wanted to get out of Afghanistan. It could have been cleaner. It could have been a better job if he was still president. But he didn't want to get into all of these wars. He in fact, didn't like being in all of these wars. That's for sure.
We should have got out of him. He's the president.
You just
He made
can't.
the call.
But you just
Well,
can't. You can't
so
just get out
Ron-
of it quick.
That's what he was trying to do before Joe Biden got into office, was stop the war in Afghanistan.
And sooner or later, the Taliban was going to take over. But
And
I don't
Take
think
over what?
I gotta correct you.
Afghanistan.
I gotta correct you so that you don't look silly on camera. Just so you know, it was Donald Trump that signed the executive order that withdrew the troops from Afghanistan.
Correct.
Joe Biden had
Yes.
nothing to do with that.
Joe
Nothing.
Biden had nothing
He just
to do with
happened
it,
to
even
be
though
in
he
office
yeah,
when
he
it happened,
claims
but
it.
they blamed it on him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It could have been a cleaner.
So
if Trump was president, it would be chances are
I could go on.
that he wouldn't-
Opportunity zones in liberal cities for blacks to create businesses, loans that would help them with low interest.
But
I'm-
and all I'm
I
saying,
haven't seen it. I still say
You're not in a liberal city, so you haven't seen that one. You're not on the border, so you.
and then I'll tell you right now,
Colorado Springs is.
it's
You and
getting
Don
li-
are
it's
about
getting
the-
liberal.
you
It's
and Don
getting
are about the
liberal
only
though,
blue-
but
Political people I know. Seriously.
Tyler.
it's
is-
getting a little bit liberal.
Yeah,
But
but he
Go-
doesn't- they
go
don't
up
talk about it.
Right.
go up to Denver.
Because
That's
they know you're from a different.
Well, they just don't talk about it.
but go up to Denver. You're gonna. That city is starting to get
Different.
pretty
Hear
bad.
that? I'm different. So are you.
Ron is different.
So
We're
are you.
all different.
We're
We
all
all have different views.
But here's the thing that I do want to get to, and
One
that
of these things is different.
another thing about being president is the spoils, and one of those spoils just happened this week, and that is SCOTUS, or the Supreme Court. We now can say that
Brown Jackson.
Justice Jackson,
Katanji.
Woo!
Woo!
Brown
How do you say-
Jackson.
how do you say that again?
Katanji Brown
Katanji,
Jackson.
Katanji Brown. I gotta learn that.
don't
You
Katanji.
said
have
that
to.
last time. Katanji
No, you don't
Brown
have to.
Jackson.
All you have to do is say Justice Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
Justice Jackson.
We're just gonna give Don a tattoo on his arm. So
That
he won't
sounds
forget
hella
it.
black, right?
It
Justice
does.
Jackson.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
No tattoo, please.
Justice Jackson.
So you remember.
Oh, I'll hear it.
I love it. At least she didn't try to change her name, the pronunciation of her name, like Harris
So,
did.
I want to talk about
Tell,
what she
I want to
has
talk
done.
about that, okay?
I want to
Who
talk
the
about
hell ever grew up with a Kamala? Okay, Kamala Harris. Her name's Kamala. Okay, Kamala Harris. You know what
you know
I
what?
mean?
Camel Toe Harris.
I don't know
You
if
can say that.
either.
No, that's legal.
Yeah,
That's legit.
that's
You can say
legal.
that. You can say that.
Yeah.
dude.
Technically, everything's legal. Free speech.
FYI,
probably have
Yeah.
fake toes anyway.
FYI, from the black member of the cast, we don't claim her, okay? Like Dave Chappelle said in the race Olympics, no,
So,
we're not claiming
I wanna
her.
talk about
okay?
what-
He's selling out.
Kamala Harris is not representative, in my opinion, of Black America.
Hell no.
Okay, speaking of you, what's his name again? That comedian?
Who, Chappelle?
He's selling out the Springs.
What are you talking about?
He's
Selling out
gonna be doing his
a show here?
doing 2 shows.
When?
I forget the dates, but they're either at Pikes Peak Center or Broadmoor World Arena.
Are they sold out?
Dude.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Oh,
I
man.
might be able to get tickets. It's a long shot.
I want to
might be able
go.
to get tickets.
Give me 2.
He said give me 2. It ain't gonna be that either. I will see how much they are, but
Yeah.
man.
Look, I just got the tax return. I can drop some.
When is it? You said in September?
I think it's later in a few months. But you can look at Broadmoor.
Speaking of concerts, me and Don are about to miss out on a great show coming in August.
That's
Foo
right.
Fighters.
Foo Fighters, because we lost a very important member. Don, his name doesn't
The
come
drummer.
in. His name.
I'm still not good with his name.
Come
Fire?
on, you gotta know
Or
that.
technicals.
What's that?
I wasn't ready to talk
Foo-
about Foo. I wasn't really ready to talk about Foo Fighters.
We were talking about concerts.
So much was going on.
What a great drummer. Gonna miss you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Look
Dave
up-
Chappelle in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
He's good
and then
stuff.
look
Gives
up.
you a very
Me and Don had tickets to
what's his
Foo
name
Fighters.
there?
We were going.
Joe
man.
Rogan. Gives you a very Joe Rogan vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. We
I
just
like
need
it.
cigars and some whiskey.
I'm going to
We
get
got
cigars
whiskey.
right now.
And we get cigars. Yeah, we got whiskey. We get cigars. Well, we like Frank Sinatra.
That's right.
Matter of
Hey,
fact,
you
I
know
got a
what?
bottle of Frank Sinatra whiskey.
I'm going to Righteous Ron here just bought a new shack at the flea market in Colorado Springs. I'm gonna
Yeah.
at the end of the video I'm gonna add that there. I'm gonna show you how the shop looks. It's
We're gonna take
beautiful.
we're gonna take that down to the shop tomorrow.
No, I already got a video on my phone, but
Oh shit!
you know
Dude,
what?
that's
We
like this
can.
weekend, Sunday, April 7th, or no, coming up Sunday, April 17th, and so
That was quick. I mean, it's
at
quick.
the Pikes Peak Center.
Dave
Tickets
Chappelle, right?
are going fast. What?
Yep.
How much
All
are they?
seats together, unless noted.
Dave Chappelle is very racist. I'm not going to his show.
But he can be. But he can be racist.
It's
because
called comedy.
It's not funny though.
He's got privileges.
There's nothing funny about racism, even though we laughed about it earlier. It's still not funny.
But he's privileged.
Still not
But
funny.
he's got special privileges.
Why? Because he's black?
Yep.
That's special privileges?
Yep.
Hey, that's my boy, man.
Don, that's about
I don't
the
like it
silliest thing you
anymore.
ever said.
I don't like it anymore.
And that's
than you do.
exactly how we feel when someone says we have white privilege.
Yeah.
Right there.
I don't
Oh,
like
You know
this
what?
any more than you
I'll
do.
give you a good example. You're right. One example I know for true, BET, Black Entertainment TV.
Yep.
We've had
Yep.
that for years.
Racist. What if we had a white entertainment TV?
I gotta
Yeah.
show my picture if you don't mind.
Vic is an artiste, if you don't mind.
Oh snap!
And I get keep his art on my fridge. Because my grandkids are lazy.
Are you still trying to get tickets?
You want to go see Dave Chappelle, Don?
There's a concert at Pikes Peak Center I've invested in.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, like, seriously, I could get a ticket for the balcony for like $400 because I really want to
No.
talk to him about some shit. And I'm
Just
like,
work your way down there.
nah, like I said, all I have to do is just be within eye shot of
that's
him.
it, work your way
And
down
I just
there.
fucking jump up and be like, yo, Dave, it's fire from Blinker Street. And he'd think about it for a second.
Get your ass
And
up
then
there.
he's like, hey, man, come here.
All right, are you done? Are you done with looking at the tickets?
Like, yeah, man. So basically, 447 is like the cheapest one. And then it goes all the way up to 864.
447 for the cheap seat.
So
But who's the who? I don't know the name of the drummer's name. I mean, I was going to ask Fire if he could bring
Oh,
that
no,
up.
there's actually 322.
I'll bring it
That's
up.
the cheapest one. 322 in the balcony.
Yeah, let's
We
bring
definitely
it
want
up.
to give them respect.
We gotta give him respect.
Thank God for Google, folks.
Thank goodness, yeah. Because Foo Fighters won some Grammys as well at this year's Grammy Awards. So that's still something.
Foo Fighters are a badass band.
They are. I'm surprised they're still together. I mean, sadly it's at the expense of Nirvana, but still, I mean, David Grohl is
Taylor Hawkins.
Taylor
God
Hawkins.
rest his soul.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, brother.
rest in peace.
Thank you.
Taylor Hawkins, yeah, I keep seeing that.
Gonna miss the show, but
it happens.
it happens. Part of life.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go see
He,
Alan.
he was what, 50?
Mm-hmm.
50.
Yeah. Actually, this month I'm gonna see Alan Parsons again. He's playing in Colorado Springs at Bixby Center.
So,
Bixby Center?
I need
Yeah.
$864, bro.
what?
This is the 20th anniversary. This is the 10,
First
20,
we're going to
30.
Paisley Park. Then we'll worry about Dave Chappelle.
I know, but
is it
sucks
50?
He's coming right fucking here, dude.
When?
That shit sucks.
April 17th.
Oh, yeah.
How many years has it been since 1982? 10,
30.
30. It's the 30th anniversary of
40.
the Eye in the Sky
It's
album
40.
of
That's 30.
Alan Parsons project.
82?
92, you said.
82.
82, 40, yeah.
40th anniversary of the Eye in the Sky album by Alan Parsons
1
project.
+ 1 = 2. I know my math.
And I mean, Alan Parsons is a very unique musician.
Did you give me a ticket, Don?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. That's one thing about Don. Forgets about his friends.
Yeah.
He doesn't pay his friendship dues. He forgets to tip the waitress. And he didn't give me a ticket to Alan Parsons.
I didn't know if you wanted to go or not.
Why wouldn't I want to go? He's great.
All right, so Ketanji Brown Jackson, correct?
Yeah.
That's what we're on now.
Justice Jackson.
Justice Jackson, the lenient on pedophile, a pedophile sympathizer.
I mean, if
The vote was 53 to 47. I watched it.
Yeah.
In the chat, they were like, "Remember who says no." All those liberal Democrats. I was like, "Remember who says yes?" They're all pedophile sympathizers, just like when they voted Biden in, sniffing children.
We should go take the ghetto shit going on now.
Trying to get our ass kicked.
well, it's just like, you know what? If it's supposed to be 100 years in prison, they might.
We should.
Justice
We really should.
Judge Brown.
Can you do it real nonchalantly, Vic?
Not with that big ass thing.
I can't. I don't know do that.
Just carried around.
It's just stuff.
Well, it's like, you know.
He gets stuff.
I know.
I mean, the sentences are more lenient, but I mean, it's like if you're supposed to be in jail for 100 years, that can become a 30-year sentence, and that's too lenient.
It is.
Yeah, and some of the sentences are even worse, where they were able to get out, and this person commits a crime again.
Right. You know, in my opinion, pedophiles, even people with pictures of naked children, should be sentenced maximum every time.
This
I
not
say this in the best way I can. I think they should be sentenced to death.
This is not. There should be a death penalty for it, but right now, you know, everybody wants to talk about abolishing the death penalty. You know, and yet we justify
As
abortion.
we
and
should, because anybody that did anything, as I would know, to get even thought about, that's too easy. That's too easy.
But there's a reason
Let
why.
them suffer.
Yeah, but
You kill somebody, you rape somebody, you fucking destroy families'
they're not
lives.
suffering. They're biding their time until they can do it again.
They're not going anywhere.
And what if they try to escape prison?
When's the last time you heard of somebody escaping prison, Don?
It happens.
When's the last time you heard of somebody escaping prison, Don?
There are endless stories on that.
There's
Prison
stories.
breaks.
Long time ago. Nobody gets out of prison. These motherfuckers who killed my daughter will never get out of prison.
Unless they can.
Pray to God they live to be 150 years old.
Pray to God that they don't try to get involved in the prison break.
There's no
Alright.
such thing anymore.
On that, you know what? I agree with you, Ron. I think they should suffer.
Suffer. Let them die.
But the people that want to abolish the death penalty are the same people that want abortion and want euthanasia. And when it comes down to that, it's the death of the innocent, and the innocent always suffers.
Explain to me what you mean by euthanasia. What?
Right to die, stuff
So
like that. Jack
now we're getting into World War I territory. Hitler or
World War
II.
II.
World War II.
No, euthanasia is basically someone who's terminally ill and they, don't want to fight anymore, like with cancer or something, and they want
If you're
the right to
if
die.
you're
But
dying,
what's the next step? Like,
I mean, fire.
the
If you're
state just decides for you.
if you're dying, we let the process take its course. But if you're not dying, and then you don't want to die because your quality of life sucks or whatever, this gets into muddy waters.
Suicide is a sin. It is. That
Suicide is the biggest sin.
It
That's
is
me.
a terrible, terrible.
Selfish.
Sin. It is.
It's the most selfish act anyone could ever possibly commit.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
it is.
It affects so many people.
I never really was.
It's an easy way out. And
And as we
We-
all know,
we have
things that
never-
are too easy aren't that damn good.
yep, that's right.
I couldn't kill myself even if I wanted to. I can't. Not just because of conscience, but I'd be afraid. But I'm afraid to do it. I fear a whole lot of things, not just God, but
Well, if you kill yourself, you probably won't meet God.
well,
As we just said, it's the
You'll be
biggest
turned
sin
away
out
at
there.
the gates.
we're all going to face judgment. We
Right.
all are
Yep.
going to face judgment. That's what I believe. Others say, "Oh, we don't." That's just superstition. Fine with me. I would disagree with you, and we don't really know
We will all be rewarded on what we have done.
exactly.
The two things I said I didn't want to talk about, Fire. That's all we talked about. Racism and religion.
But unfortunately,
Talk about
our culture
Dave
is
Chappelle.
forcing us.
About what?
Dave Chappelle.
Dave
That was
Chappelle.
racism.
Our culture,
Taylor Hawkins. God rest his
Yes.
soul.
but unfortunately, our culture is forcing us. And here's the thing about the separation of church and state. Let me make people aware of this. That the term church-state separation is not in the Constitution, but it is in a letter that Thomas Jefferson penned to the Danbury Baptist Association in 1802. It's just the courts took that letter and put that into the Constitution. When they put something into the Constitution that is not there. They just said Congress shall make no law establishing, an establishment of religion, period. But they leave out the prohibit the free exercise thereof. We don't want a state church.
That's funny. She told me yesterday, she's like, yeah, it's going to be Jeremiah. Don't sell it. That's Jeremiah's new car when he loses his license. Got to get back and forth to work.
And the thing of it is,
We're gonna pause.
yeah,
Get a pause.
because I really like his music. I like, put any.
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Yep. Open
Pause.
door.
Pause.
No.
Hey, what up?
Hey.
She wanted to know if you got a butter knife.
Oh,
She
butter
got-
knife?
I just locked myself out my house,
Maybe we should pause.
and I got to rush to the funeral home. I got
Hey,
some.
boss.
You have a butter knife.
Stop it, boss.
It's okay.
Why you ask me?
Hey, boss.
Damn butter
I
knife.
gotta say something.
Say hello to America.
Oh, can you grab
Say
my
hello.
purse?
Say
Grab
hello.
my purse, Rebecca.
Say hello to
Where's
America.
that?
You're live
Kiki.
right now.
Say hello to America.
Hello.
Hey,
Grab my
Wait,
purse.
where
Grab
is
my
it at?
purse.
Where is it at?
Okay, so I please.
I already know. Fucking.
are you okay?
Can you go? I got it. No, I'm not.
What's happened?
I got my dad. What happened to what?
What happened to her?
She has lupus. If you can't walk, I'll go get it, Rebecca. Never mind, I got the butter knife.
I got
Okay.
She has lupus, so she gets sore.
He's sick, man.
Oh, man. You okay?
No,
Where do you need to go?
She has lupus.
I know.
Where you
I
going?
don't know.
Is that your
Wherever
shot?
she's going, yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
I can't believe I just left my purse in the garden with my dad.
I'm gonna close the door so boss don't.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Don.
You're welcome. Man.
Yeah.
Well, I still feel sorry for her. I mean,
Yeah.
lupus kills.
Yes. It's bad.
You know. I know someone who was.
That was Kiki, Righteous Ron's neighbor. Her father recently died
Yeah.
as well, and her friend has lupus.
When I see them go on the floor, I mean, I get a little bit worried.
No, yeah, I understand.
2, 1.
Hey, we're better than Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I can tell you that.
But we might be the adult version, as Genghis Khan just said.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
It's not as scripted as Mr. Rogers did it.
No, probably a couple of those throughout the videos for sure.
But, you know, hey, we love you, Mr. Rogers. I mean, you were an honest man. I mean, you put on an honest product. I mean, you know, and your heart was in the right place, reaching out to children.
Won't you be, could you be, won't you be my neighbor?
We just don't have that kinship with the
Hi,
Amazon.
neighbor.
We just don't have the kinship that we had that Fred had with the speedy delivery guy and Amazon. You know, the person changes from day to day as far as delivery is concerned. Can we say Amazon?
Amazon.
Just did.
Amazon woman. Amazon man.
Yeah.
Amazon.
We just don't have that relationship with the Amazon person like Fred Rogers did with the speedy delivery guy. Get it?
Yeah.
So what do we got next, brother?
Come on in.
Is that Mr. McFeely
Oh,
already?
shit.
Oh, no, it's our
Steve.
neighbor from upstairs.
I'll still like you.
That's Baba. Still I kill is what she said.
Well, definitely, I think I want to describe
And
is something called. The one thing I do want to talk about is something called parental rights, and you know, it's one thing to say, hey, you know what,
something I know a lot about.
you know about
We're talking about Florida
Oh yeah, we're talking about
and Disney, I assume.
And Disney, no doubt about it. But there's some good news on that front because Daily Wire
I love Daily Wire.
and PragerU both ran by, honest to goodness,
Isn't PragerU Russian?
Jewish.
Oh,
Honest to
okay.
goodness, these are the conservative Jews that I like. They want to put up some content that is equal or better than Disney. So you now have a choice in that case. I mean, but
They ain't no Disneyland though.
I'm not going to go to Disneyland for sure. But
No.
if you are boycotting Disney, I do have to warn you, you won't be able to boycott everything. Now the Disney branded stuff, Star Wars, you might have to give up.
No.
Oh, you might have to consider that.
We'll sell it.
Star
We'll
Wars.
sell it to
No,
the
we'll
liberals.
sell it.
We'll
But
sell
I'll
it.
still watch it.
Sell it. Because Disney's not going to get, they're not going to get the money from those guys. No.
We'll make money out of those guys.
But, when DeSantis was confronted by his critics, he asked them, where does it say in my law,
Don't say
gay? But the saddest thing is, the whole left is saying otherwise. And as much as you don't,
It's just another tactic by the left. We all know it. Say something it doesn't really mean to get people on their side, like Black Lives Matter. No shit, motherfucker. Black Lives Matter.
and as much
White
as
lives matter too.
as
We
much
do.
as just close.
You don't need to read that.
This is my cut. We're going to go live.
All right. Yep. Go.
Let's cut with
3, 2, 1. Will Smith bitch slap Chris Rock. Praise the Lord.
okay. Now
No.
now a week back, I actually wrote a piece in intellectualconservative.com, and we'll put that into the link below so that you can read it. I'm a little bit proud of the piece. There could be some spelling and grammar, but I try to do is clean up as much as I can, and I felt it was a good subject to talk about.
Damn good stuff.
And here's the thing. I have no respect for Jada and her open marriage
No, I
philosophy.
don't either. I don't either.
But I think
I have
both.
no respect for Will Smith letting her do that either.
Yeah, but
There again.
I stay out of the. I'm
I
going to
bet
stay
he
out of their
does it too,
marriage.
though.
But
It's over. I mean, I guarantee.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either way.
That is so good.
but having said that,
And that fucking badass.
I think both Chris and
Smoked turkey.
but both Chris and Will are
Yeah.
in the wrong. I think Chris was wrong for not being considerate of Jada's condition,
Well,
and
And Will was not wrong because he
Will
didn't want
was-
any good.
Will was
You know what?
wrong in the way he handled it.
Don,
He could have
You-
heckled Chris
punch
and
him
not
backstage.
before getting physical.
Either way, he had to get physical. I mean, if you ever been married or had a girlfriend for a long time and they disrespect her in front of the whole world, fuck that.
I want to say my piece.
I'm gonna prove my point.
I want to
Okay.
say my piece.
I said mine.
So, Will Smith and his wife have an open marriage. Gross. That's nasty.
Uncool.
Okay.
Irregardless.
Now,
Irregardless.
I agree with you.
No, she stole my lighter.
Chris Rock is a comedian. He does that.
But at times
Okay.
he's not funny.
Now, Will Smith was still able to walk up, give a speech, and accept his Grammy after doing
Oscar.
whatever. Because I didn't even know what was going on. Anyone else would have been dragged out of there.
Agreed.
That's battery on camera. The police should have dragged him out of there.
Okay. But when you're a
Period.
movie star or
No,
a
so-
rock star, you
well-
get away with certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, privilege.
I mean, all I'm
Like a
saying is
privilege.
Yeah.
what Will should have
Minority
done.
rights.
Here's
You're a
what
rock
Will,
star,
here's what
you're
Will should have
minority.
done if he had to stand up for his wife. He could heckle Chris without making any physical contact on Chris Rock.
I don't know.
Make his statement. If Chris refused to do it,
I know what
then-
kind of man you are. And if
then
somebody got up there
slap
and
the
bashed
guy.
your wife in front of the
No,
world,
okay, let me
I
put
know
it this
how
way.
you are.
Let me put it this way. Chris Rock compared her to G.I. Jane, which is a badass bitch. Okay?
But he didn't mean it like
And-
that.
and-
he was mocking her.
Okay, it's
Yes,
not
she was
like
bald.
it's not like he compared her to Caillou or somebody. Okay.
Who's
That's
Caillou? Are you talking about
Yeah,
that?
it's a
that
child show.
That cartoon show?
Yeah.
I know who Caillou is, but
It-
a lot of people still may not remember it.
Regardless, I know you.
I look like
Some of you do
Caillou.
that to your wife, you go up there and punch him in his freaking face.
Hi, Danny.
Guarantee it.
Hi,
You
Mommy.
Yeah,
But
but I'm
you're
not.
mad-
I'm
you're
not
mad at Will
famous. I don't
Smith for
have
doing
people looking up to me
But you're mad.
like that.
Yeah, you do.
My children, and you guys, I guess.
Yeah. So you did
Look
the right
what I
thing.
did. Look what I did, Daddy.
But
did the right
how is
thing.
there only one camera angle of this in a studio full of cameras?
I'm sure there's more than one.
Well, it was an auditorium.
I've only
though.
seen
You just
one.
only because you only watch. I bet there's more.
All right.
I bet there's more.
But what he could have done was use the power of heckle. Say, hey,
What he could have done is what he did.
he did. But let me finish. He could have heckled. He could have heckled. If Chris Rock chose to press his luck, then Will Smith can give him a few whammies.
I got the regular ones back there, but yeah.
And of course, people like Chris do like to
Already
press their
went
luck
down.
because they think they can. Because
Alright.
people don't take threats seriously.
So
But if you want to read what I think about it, there'll be a link of it below on our YouTube page, so you can check that out. It's at intellectualconservative.com. Great website done by Rachel Alexander down in Arizona, full of some conservative opinions. I recommend you go to it. I write for them, and check out my columns that I write there from time to time.
it's under what name?
Intellectualconservative.com.
And
We're
your
gonna-
name is what?
Don McCullen.
Tom McCollum.
Genghis Don
Look
McCullen.
Look him up. Look him up. Anyway, folks, that was our show. Hope to see you again.
Hope the ghetto brings you back.
Righteous Bronze
Oh,
signing out.
before we go, remember to if you're on YouTube,
Don's
click
got the last word.
click the subscribe button,
Ring the bell.
ring the bell,
Ring the bell.
and then do the same thing at
Hit the like.
Rumble
And again, you know what? Anything you want to talk about, please let us know.
in the comments below.
Yeah. We want to hear what you got to say.
We'll see you guys next time.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.